This is Formula One in 2024, where it is game on, week in, week out.
Buenos dias. Let's see how handy my 5 months of Duolingo comes in this weekend. I don't have high hopes, and neither should you. But we are in Barcelona. It is my first time in Barcelona, second time in Spain. I went to Madrid, I believe 2 years ago for a few days for a tennis tournament. And since then, I've always had something during the Madrid tournament, so I have not gone back. But I really like Spain. I like tapas. I like paella. I like, what else is there in Spain? Sangria. Love a sangria. And maybe I'll get to practice my really mid Spanish a little bit. So I'm here for the Spanish Grand Prix with Charlotte Tilbury and F1 Academy once again. My most recent race with them was Miami in the US. It was so great, such an incredible weekend, and this is my first Europe tournament. So I've been to races in the US, I went to the Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne, Australia, and this is my first Europe race. And from what I've heard, they are quite different than the ones that I've attended. Miami and Vegas are incredible spectacles. I think that it's just kind of a different vibe. What I've heard, the Europe races, specifically like the Paddock Club, is a little bit more intimate and really feels like kind of a classic F1 race. I'm really excited to kind of get a little bit different of an experience. Last night I got in and went to dinner with Charlotte Tilbury. There was a number of girls there who work with the brand or have some sort of dealer association with the brand or are working with F1 Academy. Super fun. We had tapas. Lizzie is here, and I also brought my friend Brittany from LA, who absolutely loves F1. She's gone to a bunch of races. Touched on this in past vlogs, but F1 Academy is a driver development program that aims to bring women to higher levels of motorsport, and that can be F3, F2, or F1. I think at least this is what I thought before I knew anything about F1. Don't judge me, because we all start somewhere. I thought F1 was a male-only sport because currently there's only male drivers on the grid, but anyone can race in F1. It's been a long time since a woman has raced on the F1 grid, but it is possible, and I think the ultimate goal of this academy is to get one of these girls a spot on the grid. Formula One Academy provides these girls with track time, technical training, mental, physical support, and in F1, you know, a lot of the race really depends on the car itself. They have these massive teams of engineers that are making little tiny tweaks. It's kind of like a rocket ship on the ground, and they're always making little changes throughout all the cars, and some cars are obviously much better than others. In Formula One Academy, that's not quite the case. All of the cars are essentially the same. There's little differences between them, but the goal is to really find the talent in the driver, that hopefully they can find the girl who's going to be able to go up to that level. This was really created in 2023, and then in 2024, they have races across 7 countries, 3 different continents for the first time. Watch all the races live on F1 Academy's YouTube, and the girls are cute. They're just so sweet, and they're so driven, and they're so talented. Ola drives the Charlotte Tilbury car, and I've gotten to talk with her quite a bit, and she's just really sweet. I think she told me the last time she started driving like go-karts when she was 8 years old, so this has just been their whole life, and it's really cool to kind of watch girls in that space. It's so cool that Charlotte Tilbury decided to sponsor F1 Academy and sponsor a car. The whole car is covered in lipstick, and it's so girly and fun, and I like the message of it, that, you know, you can dress up and want to do your makeup and want to, you know, like girly things and cute things and still also do something as badass as motorsport. I feel like it makes the space much more welcoming to women. I hope that if you're interested in F1, that you also can get interested in Formula One Academy, because I think it's a really cool program. And Susie Wolf runs it, and I've only recently learned about her in the last couple months, but I just think she's brilliant. So it is Saturday morning. We are going to head to the track. We have the first F1A race, and then we have F1 qualifying. And I'm feeling much better than I did last week. Thank God. My outfit for today, it is very hot in Barcelona, like 80 humid. I don't know how humid it's gonna be, but it's toasty. Vest top from Kukai, the skirt from skirt. Huh? That can't be right. This label says the skirt is from Prada, and I have no memory of purchasing this. No, I've never. I was about to tell you guys the skirt was from Revolve. I'm so confused. Anyways. So excited about this. I got the Staud Tommy beaded bag in tomato. I'm pretty sure this is one of their new styles, but I'm sure you guys know all about this bag. It's so popular. They have, I think, 20 different styles of purses. I just thought this one was really fun for summer. I probably should have brought it to Italy. This doesn't fit anything, and I usually am carrying like huge bags because I have my camera and all this stuff, so I'll probably just have to like girl claw a lot of things today. Anyways, let's go to the track.
We gon' show up, we gon' show up, smoother than a fresh dress skin.
Charlotte's Tilbury car. These cars are a lot smaller than the F1 cars, and they don't go as fast. They top out in the hundreds, whereas the F1 cars go well into the 200s. If I was to drive a racing car, I probably would want it to be covered in lipstick. The McLaren Paddock Hospitality Kitchen had a fire, and so there's been fire trucks here for like 3 hours. You guys probably know there's a lot of fuel around the paddock, and so if a fire breaks out here, it would be really bad.
You sure it's me? No.
Oh! We're going down, not on the track technically, it's like right next to the track, but we have to wear these gorgeous
Very
dress
fashionable dresses.
for safety, you know. This is called a photo safari.
You wanted to go on a safari this year.
I did want to go to, a couple months ago I texted Brittany and I was like, I think we need to go to Africa.
We definitely will.
Yeah.
But we're doing a different kind of safari now.
It's a different kind of safari. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Missy that had that sound, it's like, she's brought a ludicrously capacious bag. What's in there? Her shoes for the subway? I'm the shoes for the subway. I didn't bring my shoes, and I decided to like just go for shoes I've never worn before. I can't walk to the car. Oh. I actually don't think I've gotten a sleep score on my Oura Ring higher than like 65 in probably maybe 2 weeks, which is really bad. Usually I'm like a great sleeper, like a really good sleeper. If they had an award for sleeping, they should know about me. I pride myself in that, but I think just being sick and a lot of traveling and stuff, I've been really struggling to have good sleep. Speaking of my Oura Ring, because I can't even tell you guys how many questions I get asked about it. I think I've been wearing my Oura Ring for probably a year and a half at this point. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I use it to track my sleep, my activity. It tracks your heart rate. If you want to use it to track your cycle, you can do that. That's what I do. I've heard some friends say like, oh, I don't know if I would want an Oura Ring because I feel like I'd get addicted to checking my scores on it, which is definitely the case for me. However, I feel like I've learned so much about my body from doing so. Like if I, for example, have 1 glass of wine at dinner, my heart rate, my average resting heart rate goes up by like 10 points, which is kind of crazy. I think, and I've talked about this before, I think my body really just does not react to alcohol well. So I kind of nerd out with it a little bit. Something else that I've learned through my Oura Ring is that my average steps per day are between 20 and 30,000. When I'm traveling, when I'm home in LA, it's usually not that much, just because when I'm traveling, I'm just walking so much. So that's been interesting. Overall review of my Oura Ring is that I love it, I am obsessed with it, and I probably will never stop wearing it. On race weekends, my Oura Ring is very mad at me. It'll send me an alert that's like, time to start winding down for bed. Your recommended bedtime is 9:30 p.m. Last night you went to bed at 3:30 a.m. Like, okay, noted. Thanks, Queen. I'm heading back to London on Monday afternoon, and then it's 1 more week, and then it's Wimbledon, which I obviously I'm very excited for. Like I've gotten some comments. Not mean, but people being a little confused why I started posting F1 content. So I kind of want to just give you guys the rundown on that. So I went to my first race in October of last year. I went to the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and I had gone with Taylor as his +1 because MGM Bellagio has a hospitality area, and MGM, which is like the huge hotel chain that basically owns all of Las Vegas, they host a number of tennis exhibitions. And if you are in the tennis world, you probably know how much Taylor loves exos. They just invited him to go for the weekend, and so I went with him. And I didn't know anything about F1 prior to that. So this is from the brand Flower, which I don't think I'd heard of before. And it is the smoothest eyeliner. I do like a brown eyeliner, usually now. Anyways, I was like, this was super fun. Would love to go to more. I started noticing the similarities between F1 and tennis, although like they are very different, obviously. There are a lot of similarities, and there's also a similar fan base. So I had so much fun that I was like, okay, I want to go to more. And basically from that point moving forward, I have two options. Either I can spend ridiculous amounts of money to try to go to races, because I'm sure you guys know how expensive races are, and they're all across the world. So you're not only paying for the ticket and everything, but you're paying for the airfare, and you're paying for the hotel, you're paying for the travel. Or I can figure out a way to get paid to go to these races. The latter option obviously sounded more ideal, and I will say I'm not driven by money at all. Money has never been a motivator for me. Like, I just don't care about making more money. I just want to have fun, and I want to go to like fun things, which is why pretty much all of my content is centered around like events. But I actually started doing work in F1 when I was in Australia for the Australian Open. I have a friend who I met in Australia years ago, and when I met her, she was not working in F1 at the time, but for the last like year or so, she kind of runs a fan experience, produces the fan experience show for the AusGP. When I was at Australian Open, she came to a match with me one day, and I kind of threw the idea by her. I was like, it'd be kind of cool if I came to the AusGP, and she was like, oh yeah, that would be cool. And I basically begged her to connect me with someone who worked in like the marketing for AusGP. I managed to get a meeting with her. I set up a Zoom call and basically just pitched myself and was like, you know, I would love to come here. This is the sort of content that I've done in tennis the last 2 years. This is the sort of like fan base that I can bring in. This is the sort of content that I make. Basically pitched myself to come, and then I went and hosted Glamour on the Grid and did a video for them for that. Posted all my content from that weekend, and then the Monday, so the day after the AusGP, F1 Academy in Charlotte Tilbury reached out to my team because they'd seen all of my content for that weekend. I've gotten a lot of DMs from girls asking how they can kind of get into the F1 space, and my biggest two tips would be start posting content about F1 on your own channels and reach out to people, especially if you are female. And obviously motorsport is still very male dominated. The women in this community look out for each other. It's been actually almost a little bit jarring to me how kind and supportive all of the women who work in this space are. Come to a race, I meet other F1 content creators, hosts, broadcasters, engineers, marketing girls for different teams, and every single one of them has been nothing but so kind. Let's say, for example, if you're a college student right now and you're studying marketing, you're studying sports marketing, and you really are interested in F1 and you want to go work in F1 once you graduate, find women who work in motorsport on LinkedIn, find them on Instagram, and literally message all of them. Honestly, being a college student right now kind of gives you the advantage of like being mentored or being, I don't know, I guess a little bit naive. When I was in college, I would cold message people on LinkedIn all the time, and you would be surprised how willing people who are working in the corporate world or who are older than you are like willing to help you. People want to help you. You might assume like, oh, they probably get so many messages, I don't want to be a burden. They really don't. A lot of people, most people in this world, I would say, are actually not willing to put themselves out there in that way. So take the initiative on it. The only way that I was able to get into this is I was a little bit like pushy about it. I used my connections. Make sure you're very kind and respectful to every single person that you meet, no matter who they are, no matter what they do. You're only really as good as your connections and kind of the reputation that, you know, you carry. Anyways, today is race day, so happy race day. Early start today. It is 7:15. I'm just about to go downstairs and get my car. We're going to the track and we're starting with the F1 Academy race that is at 8:45 this morning.
Sorry, like 8 things in one hand.
The clock. At 8:15, we're gonna go down and do a grid walk, and then we're gonna watch the race from the pit wall, which is the coolest way to watch a race. Okay, so we're sitting at the pit wall for the F1 Academy race. This is usually where the... Oh my gosh. Am I talking into this? Can you guys hear me? Oh, that is embarrassing. That's so...
Okay, I was enjoying it.
Wow. Take that off then. Okay, behind us is where all of the garages are. This is a very cool place to watch the race from though, because it's so up close. You're basically sitting on the track. Breakfast in the Paddock. It's okay. Tea bag. Don't touch the tea bag. Like don't even just don't touch the tea bag. At least 5 minutes. Tea bag out. Splash of milk. 1 sugar. I agree. I do.
Pushing with the
¿Tienes una corriente en las piernas?
Actually so hard. Every day when you come into the Paddock Club, there is this little schedule. I think the next thing that we're going to do is the pit lane walk, which is going to be at 12:55, and that's where you go down next to the garages and you get to see setting up the cars right before the race. Having a little fruit snack. The fruit that I've had here so far is so good compared to the US. It's like it's not even the same food. It's so much more fresh. Oh, the mango. I don't really eat fruit because it's not good in the US. Do you know what that is? Dragon fruit. Dragon fruit? I don't know if I've ever had dragon fruit. It's pink on the outside. Inside of the F1 Hospitality, Charlotte Tilbury has a little glam station, and this station has been busy basically 24/7 the last 2 days. It's so nice because the F1 Academy drivers can come up, the team members can come up and get their makeup touched up, which I just think is really cool for kind of like appealing to women in sport. Like people can be here and want to watch the sports and stuff and also want to come get their makeup touched up, which is what I'm going to do. Yeah. So this is the new Charlotte Tilbury Sheer Glow tint, and it's a very kind of light coverage, super, super glowy foundation. I'm obsessed with it. And they need to have these glam touch-up stations at every event, especially events where you're like going around the entire day. We have a 10-hour day today. It's hot. Everyone's sweaty. Hello. Voila. It was very cold up until like 30 minutes ago, and now it's hot. Oop, there's the driver parade. You get to see kind of the action right before the race starts. You get to see all the teams setting up the cars, setting up the tires, setting up the pits. Race time, F1, race time. Oh, they're so cute. Whoa. God damn.
That was terrifying.
Starting out the morning, almost getting attacked by a parrot. You know what kind of parrots those are? We basically just stumbled upon some random park and it's stunning. I don't know what this building is. If it's like a church or something, but it's actually insane how beautiful it is.
You get fit in that bubble.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, geese scare me. I wouldn't get too close to them. I got chased by a goose in Minnesota once, so it was really scary. What?
Yeah, I used to have a pet goose named Baby Bop when I was little, and it would go with me everywhere.
That's so Texas of you. Oh. I actually don't know if I've ever talked about this on my channel before, but when I was growing up, I had 2 teacup chihuahuas. I got them when I was maybe 4 or 5 and then had them through college. They were like 20 years old. They were the oldest dogs ever. And I am obsessed with chihuahuas. The #1 dog, the only dog that I want is a little tiny baby chihuahua that I can like carry in my purse and will be by my side all the time. It's probably not surprising to anybody. Taylor and I have been talking a lot about getting a dog on the tour. I spend so much time on the tour by myself, but then I go back and I'm like, is that really fair to the dog? Like, travel's really stressful. It would really have to be like the right animal. I would never be okay leaving my animal at home or leaving it with someone else. I don't know, we might have to wait till he retires. Taylor also really wants a dog. He also wants cats. I think our tennis retirement plan is that we will open a cat rescue. Anytime I see a chihuahua, it just like hurts my heart because I want one so bad. I can't remember last time I had a cinnamon roll. Should we? Yes. Yeah. Hola, un cinnamon roll normal.
Gracias. Do the rings from the
Ooh, good. Not too sweet. I would offer it too, but germs. Do you want? I like germs. Okay. Brittany wants my germs. Oh, goodness. Yummy.
I can't tell you the last time I had a cinnamon bun. Is this better than cinnamon bun?
Cinnabon?
Cinnamon?
I do love cinnamon. I used to work at Abercrombie in the Mall of America in Minnesota, and downstairs they had a cinnabon, and I would get it like once a week. Stunning. We just found the heaven of trinket shops. Like if you are a trinket girl and you come to Barcelona. Are these for eggs or for shots? Eggs. Whatever you want them to be for. So if I lived in Barcelona, I would come here and get all of my plates. Your shop is so cute.
Oh, thank you.
It's beautiful. Oh, no, I don't think it is.
I think it's someone's air conditioning.
We thought it was raining, but I think we were just getting baptized by someone's air conditioning water. Packed up. Race weekend's over. I am heading back to London. Taylor's playing in Eastbourne this week, but I will be in London at least for the next 2 days, and then maybe go to Eastbourne and then go back to London for Wimbledon. The weekend was really fun. Max Verstappen theory conspiracy squashed. Sorry, girlies. I hope I can come back to Barcelona and explore the city a bit more. Weekends like this, it's just really difficult because you have like 10-hour days on the track, and last night, everyone went out except for me. I was just too tired. Every single race, there's this big official after party that all the teams go to, all of the like engineers, like everyone who works in F1 goes to. It was kind of crazy last night because people party in Barcelona till like 6 a.m. There was a big holiday here yesterday, so there were fireworks the entire night, like loud fireworks. And at one point they were shooting them like right in the parking lot outside. I had my noise machine blasting, but yeah, it was kind of a crazy night in Barcelona. I wish I could have partaken, but I think it was probably better for me to get some sleep. That's the vlog, so I will see you guys in London.